Doom 2016 was a surprise hit when it came out 5 years ago. While there was a small demand for a return to form for the FPS genre, most games that attempted a retro shooter experience were lackluster, to say the least. Doom was indeed a major name, credited to bring the popularity of the genre, but the fact that very little gameplay was shown of the single player, coupled with the middling reception of the multiplayer beta, certainly did no favor for people's expectation of the game before launch. It was with high anxiety that id Software launched the game then, and to the surprise of everyone, the fourth mainline installment of Doom blew pretty much everyone away. It crushed the other retro revival without mercy, and brought back a new wave of old school inspired first person shooters. It's also the game that paved way to what is my favorite FPS of all time, Doom Eternal. And so with this video, I wanted to revisit the reincarnation of Doom and see how it stacks up compared to Eternal. At this point, the game has passed its 5th anniversary, and with the impact it left on the industry, specifically independent FPSs, I thought it would be neat to celebrate Doom's 5th anniversary. I hope you enjoy! Doom 2016 tells an epic story of the Doomslayer that awakened after a very long nap to find out the most evil thing imaginable is invading Mars, Canadian internet companies. The Slayer set out to push back Rogers and Bell's invasion and to keep the price of the internet on Mars affordable. Truly a power fantasy. I should probably talk about the gameplay and how id Software brought the formula to a modern audience. I grew up playing the original Doom and its sequel, Doom 2. I always really enjoy fighting my way through monsters using an arsenal of big guns and the advanced tactic of running around like a headless chicken. It was honestly pretty simple, relying mostly on skills and dexterity, but it never failed to be satisfying. But while I always thought fighting the monsters was a blast, I would always get pretty pissed off at the map design. Getting lost in an abstract location while looking for fucking key would always, and still kinda does, aggravate me. It just got in the way of the slaughtering, you know? id Software did something essential with modernizing old school gameplay, and it's taking the fun part, the parts people are fond of, and this instance the shooting, and pretty much streamlining the irritating part of the classic games. Doom 2016 gameplay loop still revolve around collecting keycard to progress through the map while fighting off hordes of ISP's lobbyists. However, getting lost is now a very rare occurrence, never getting in the way of the fun. All of the classic guns make a return. You'll start with an energy pistol that is quite awful, a combat shotgun, the newcomer heavy rifle, and finally the plasma gun. Those will serve very well against lower tier mobs, but the remaining weapon, I like to call them power weapon. They're the workhorse against the lobbyists. The super shotgun, you can pretty much just stick with this one for the whole game and win. The new Gauss cannon, a big railgun that deals tons of damage. The rocket launcher can handle most of life's little problem. And the minigun is always a great choice if you need to shoot a lot of projectiles really fast. Every weapon except the super shotgun can be equipped with one of 2 mods at a time that gives access to an alternate fire mode. You'll have to find them in the environment, however. Honestly, you'll be firing on mod more often than the base gun itself, because they really bring more firepower. For instance, the chain gun mobile turrets mod transforms your 1-barrel chain gun into a 3-barrel shotguns. It tears through the enemies. Not only that, mods can be upgraded with points acquired via combat, exploration, and challenges, and those upgrades can really up your destruction. Keeping the mobile turret as an example, it can be upgraded to deploy faster, get better cooling, and also get uranium-coated bullets which make bullets penetrate targets. The gas cannon siege mode can one-shot most demons, but it's supposed to have the downside of making you immobile while it charges. But just yeet yourself from an elevated position while charging and you'll keep your momentum, no need to upgrade it at all. It's devastating. Regular shots are still helpful when you're quick swapping guns, essentially swapping your gun for another gun during the recovery animation, letting you fire again sooner than if you waited for the animation to finish. It's like pulling a fighting game combo, but with guns. Doom Eternal is balanced with this in mind, but once you apply quick swapping to 2016, you'll kill even the strongest lobbyists in a matter of seconds. It really ruins the challenge of the game. Those are not even all your offensive options. The Slayer packs a small choice of 3 equipment: a frag grenade, a second grenade that absorbs enemy health, and an hologram that tracks enemy fire. Use it if you're in a hard spot. You'll also obviously be packing the big fucking gun 9000, fire and forget, and the chainsaw, which you can use to either eliminate a specific strong enemy or to keep yourself well supplied ammo-wise. You'll obtain those fairly early in the game. The loop of fighting the lobbyists doesn't only revolve around the arsenal of guns anymore, it also revolves around punching the living shit out of them. When the enemy are low on health, they'll start glowing, and skating you can pull the glory kill. The glory kill is an immensely satisfying finisher animation of the Slayer exploding the fuck out of whatever he put his hand on. It's an essential way of recovering health and some ammo. It's a push-forward philosophy, and wanted you to rush in the action instead of covering in fear. Most people think glory kills are safe, but that's not quite true. If you time it badly, you can absolutely get killed while doing one. Glory kills can also highlight some engine problem, because that engine is a little bit janky, to be honest. It's struggling to manage collision with high-speed objects. You can sometimes see it would require platforming, and glory kill can really challenge those collisions. Sometimes trying to glory kill an enemy on the higher ground can result in you violently smashing your face a couple times on the edge of the platform, or even... What the fuck? If you're coming back from Eternal and really missing the dash, here's something you can do. If you use a rune that let you glory kill from further away, you can use a chainsaw to quickly snap on a lower tier enemy like soldiers and imp, and use that as a makeshift dash. It saved me every so often. Almost every classic lobby has returned as well in some form or another. You have zombies, spooky rocket skeleton, good boy, your physical ed teacher, imps, I had nothing for them, and more are all back to charge you more for your internet. They'll be backed by 3 different boss fights near the end of the game as well, but I won't spoil them just in case someone wants to play the game but never did it before. Other than the bosses, you'll encounter every enemy type by the middle of the game. Unlike Eternal, there's no hardpoint to targets. For example, in Eternal you can snipe the rocket launchers of spooky skeletons, but not in 2016, so you'll have to target its head as a mean of dealing with it faster. Every enemies take more damage with headshots, and it's pretty much the only way of increasing your damage output against them. Except for good boys and physical ed teachers, those have to be targeted at the back or at the beer belly respectively. The game contains 13 levels and are spread between Mars facilities and Rogers' headquarters. You'll also see both of those locations by the middle of the game. Have you noticed something? Every gameplay element I've mentioned so far, guns, enemies, level scenery, I've mentioned every time and you'll see them by the end of the game. And that's Doom's biggest issue. You've seen almost everything the game has to offer by the mid-mark. From that way on, the game relies on the bosses, the weapon upgrades, and the runes, which are essentially perks you can find and update by beating a challenge. And if you're really connected with the gameplay, then it shouldn't be much of an issue, but if you're just enjoying it, then you might lose interest in it pretty quickly. I bet you can't tell the difference between levels just by looking at the clips. It was absolutely corrected in its sequel Doom Eternal. Level variety is much more improved, not just in scenery but also on the encounter basis. Some people think 2016 had a better ambience, and I get it. I love its ambience too. But honestly, another game like this would have been really boring. Ambience wise, 2016 is more creepy and dark, while Eternal really feels like a big budget action movie. Both are great, they're just very different. I think Eternal is a better game, but I consider 2016 as a classic. Despite its flaw of being repetitive, it's still an absolute blast. And because it's more spooky ambience, I do think it's worth revisiting. I've played it a bunch of time in its 5 years, and I'll probably still play it every so often as it gets older as well. I haven't even talked about its multiplayer, which still have a bit of flair on, and Snap Map. Both extremely underrated additions in my opinion. You can usually get it around $25 right now, and it's definitely worth it if you've never played it before. It's a great package. That's it for my video of Doom. I've been thinking for a while about an end card thingy, but I honestly still don't have a good idea for it, so have this. Huge thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. If you want to see more, maybe consider subscribe. That would be neat. If I just bought myself an actual microphone, I'm still kind of trying to figure out how that things work and the proper distance. The sound level is illegal. That's gonna be fun in editing. But I'd like to start doing some gameplay commentary with it. So you know, if you want to see that, maybe keep an eye out for it. I don't know what my next video would be. Next week has the release of Guilty Gear Strive and Game Builder Garage on the same day, and then Ninja Gaiden's collection on the day before. So that's pretty busy. I was thinking of doing something a little bit smaller. I'll cover Strive when it comes out, very probably. I'm really excited about it. I don't shut up about it. And I think that's about it. Please stay safe, have a good day, be happy, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye bye.